we're back with another episode of the Pals Podcast. I am your co-host, Danielle Galarno.
And I am Ricky Liordi.
And how are you today?
Honestly, I'm great. Minus my back. My back's a little stiff, but by the time this gets released, my back will be fine. And I'll just have had an amazing weekend at the Porch après ski party and disco brunch at Laissez-Faire.
You're doing both.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday.
That's wild.
I actually didn't tell you though. A friend of mine died. Did I tell you?
What?
Yeah, a friend of mine died on Monday. How wild is that?
I'm really sorry.
33 years old.
I saw you twice this week.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't talk about it just because we're busy. Wild.
Wow, we're really, really, really sorry.
Yeah, he's not like a close friend of mine, but like a buddy of mine that like I've known for the last 15 years. So I was in a bachelor party with him a little while ago. He was really good friends with one of my best friends. So that's how I know him, like friends of any like friend of a best friend you're automatically like friends with. But yeah, last time I saw him was my best friend's dad's funeral. And now like I'm going to go to his viewing on Sunday. So it's just the whole thing's wild. Heart failure, 33 years old. Yeah, fucking wild. Anyways, I wasn't expecting to say that on the pod, but
I was not expecting you to say that. You just like caught me so off guard right now.
Yeah, anyways, well, I got a couple packages in the mail this week too. That was exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff.
Liquid IV, M&Ms, and Mod. Did I say that right? Mod?
I don't know what it is.
Oh, you haven't seen the post yet?
No.
Anyways, okay. Well, let's talk about weird intro, but
like really weird. Like I don't even have like words to say.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. Why don't you tell the audience who we had on the pod this week?
So we had Sarah Orban on the podcast. She is a track cyclist.
Correct.
And it's crazy her story. She is working her way to the Olympics right now too, so that's really excited for her. But she was not into this growing up at all. Like wasn't even on track to kind of do this path. Went to university, kind of got thrown into it. We talk about like the whole story. Basically, the whole episode is her story with like me and Ricky chiming in the whole time, like just.
But yeah, and we haven't had an episode where it's been one long story in a long time, and this was one long story with different branches off to different like segments.
And then we always like came back to the story.
Came back to the story, which was crazy.
Which was kind of fun. It's like we're telling a story, yeah.
Because I think she started telling the story like 5 minutes into the episode, and basically the episode ended with like where she is now.
Yeah.
Now.
Which was crazy, but I had so much fun like listening to her like. What she did. It's just
she's like
learning
a natural
about
born
it more.
athlete. Like just like somebody she didn't know what she was going to be like super amazing at until later on in life, and she found it, and now she's super amazing. I also
just think it's so funny too because you always talked about, especially in the past year, about how you're going to become an Olympian because of pickleball.
Yep.
And then now we actually fully have someone on the podcast that like learned a new sport at 22 years old.
Correct.
So yeah,
it's it's wild, but anyways, give it a listen. Sarah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for being a pal.
It was a lot of fun. We want you back on, especially me and Ricky actually are talking about going to Paris too, so maybe we will see you in Paris at the Olympics.
That's the plan. And yeah, other than that, if guys give Sarah a follow, give us a follow, like, subscribe, all those fun things. And Danny,
let's fucking go!
So yeah, we're trying to. So this is from the original studio, the first ever episode we had in our original studio. An artist named Anthony Ricciardi designed these hearts and then made this little thing for us. And then when we left the original studio, we got kicked out. We went to my condo and we were recording in my living room. And my living room's a little bit bigger than this space. Mm-hmm. And I took the hearts and I just put them on my living room wall. Like I just like nailed them in. But recently I used to have a Polaroid and I put all the pictures inside on my fridge, and then my fridge ran out of space. So now I'm putting all the Polaroids inside the hearts. So like it looks kind of cute on my living room. And then when we got to space, like, you got to take those down. I was like, I can't. It's part of my living room now. So we had 2 extra hearts. We put them here just because it's kind of the vibe.
Yeah, but people also think because of the studio, we had the blue couch, that this is the same blue couch.
And it's not the same.
It's not actually. Yeah, you're right.
I totally thought it was the same couch.
Because I've had a couple people ask too. And I was like, no, that actual, I don't even know where George has it.
No, the couch we left in the space. So long story short, we ended up getting kicked out of the studio, our original. But we had this like custom blue couch that was made for us. It was just too big to fit in the mover's van when we like did like a sneaky getaway move. So now we had to leave it. Unfortunately, we left that, a table, and like a couple chairs.
And like Devin, who's like in the space too, he just was like, "Oh, I have this couch," and we were gonna put it outside. And then we saw it. We're like, "No, we're moving that in here. It's perfect."
It's kind of part of the vibe, though. I like it.
Yeah, same
matches.
Yeah. Have you been on many podcasts?
Nope.
Is your first one?
First like in person kind of. Yeah.
We love that.
I mean, I did like one like Zoom podcast.
Yeah.
But
See, but you know what I hate about Zoom? Once there's that like kind of millisecond delay, and with us, because again, it's not interview. It's like question answer, question answer, question answer. Like the little inside jokes, those like little kind of funny moments sometimes get lost, and then you'll say something that was like funny, like we would laugh, and then the guest is like, "Sorry, would you say?" I was like, "It's not gonna be as funny the second time I say it." Like it's kind of.
But I also find like it becomes more of an interview on Zoom. Like we've had a couple, and it was more just like question answer because you don't get the same vibe. You're staring at a screen. It's like doing a meeting at work on Zoom. It's never the same. You're going for a purpose, and then you're hanging up.
Yeah.
So we try to avoid it as like on Zoom as much as possible now. Like even I've had a couple people be like, "Hey, they're not coming to town anymore, but can we do it over Zoom?" I'm like, "No,
well,
you know what? We're gonna pass on this. Even if it's a great guest, like we're gonna have to pass right now."
Yeah, unless it's like Justin Bieber or something. Then you're like, okay,
you can't pass that.
Yeah, then you're gonna do it. But I feel like even with you, like I feel like we kind of like when we originally spoke, this would have been months ago, no?
Yeah, this is like I want to say like 6 months ago.
Yeah,
like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then it's just like now it worked out with time and that, you know, that you're around and
Because I was going through our like old DMs and he's like, "Hey, like just start messaging people we've like talked to before." And I saw your name and I was like, "Ricky, like this never actually happened, right?" He goes, "No." I'm like, "Perfect."
Yeah, no, it's perfect timing. Yeah, no, life's busy. It's hard to do like things like this in person, and we don't come to Toronto often. Like
you're just outside the city. You're not too far though.
Yeah, but we come in like a couple times a year.
What's your like day to day look like though?
Like we train every day, Monday to Friday. We're at the track between like 6 to 8 hours.
Sorry, you're at the track for 6 to 8 hours?
Yeah, with the lunch break in between. We'll go home. We live close, like 5 minutes away. So it's like, yeah, it's a job. Like it's a regular
Yeah, but
job.
I didn't like, well, I mean, so even with like a lot of the other athletes we've had on the podcast, usually have like a morning shift. They'll do like some sort of job or something. And then they'll have the night shift or like swimmers. Like Penny's the best example I can think of.
No, but they're in the water. But then they have like in water training and outside water training.
Yeah, and then they have outside training.
But
like,
it's all within the day.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Like my cousin who's training right now for her synchro team, when like she has her summer training, they're there from like 8 a.m. till 5 or 6. And they have 1 hour out of the water.
Don't you just get like gassed all day? Or is your body just used to it?
I think my body has a tolerance for training now. Like we adapt pretty quickly and like, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty well adjusted. I've been an athlete my whole life. So
you did soccer before, right?
Yeah, I played soccer growing up.
What position?
Outside mid.
Oh, okay. So you're basically used to running.
Ran the flank. Yeah. So up and down the fields. Body's used to it.
So I wanted to ask, because when I was reading your bio earlier, I saw that you knew you wanted to like represent Canada on a national level, be an Olympian. You just didn't know what your sport was. Okay. So again, I love Olympics. Like I'm like I would love to represent.
He is the like walking poster child for like an Olympic fan or like any type of like Team Canada fan.
What's your favorite sport?
I'm a hockey player. Okay. Like I was born and raised playing hockey. I was just not good enough.
My brothers, they were hockey players. My dad, hockey. So I'm like hockey family. Like I should have played hockey growing up.
And you did it.
I tried it. I liked it, but like I played soccer. I loved that, so stuck with that.
Okay. So then why'd you decide to do like track cycling?
Oh, it's an interesting question. It wasn't just like, get on a bike and try track cycling. There's a little bit more to it. Like I said, played soccer my whole life. All the way through university. And I went to a talent ID camp, RBC training ground. Yeah. I don't know if you've heard of that. No, yeah. It's pretty well known now. I think they're doing most people know about it now. But yeah, so this is actually a long story.
Keep going.
So yeah, played soccer all throughout university, 5 years. kind of near the end, my dad, he kind of always told me growing up, like, you could go to the Olympics. Like, he really like pushed me and kind of like implanted that kind of thought in my brain that like you could be an Olympian. Like, don't know what sport, but like he kind of like threw ideas like speed skating, or like he kind of came up with this random idea like skeleton or bobsled. Like this,
it's a fucking big one.
Like, I've got like really strong legs, really fast runner in soccer. I wasn't really like the most skilled player, but like had a lot of speed, a lot of power, like usually one of the more like athletic, kind of like fit ones on my team. And so, yeah, he actually came across this like poster for an ID camp for bobsled and was like, you should go try this. Like, this could be your path to the Olympics, like after university.
So this is after university. So like
I was in my last year of university.
See, I wish
when
my
this
parents
whole
said that
idea was like brewing
I wish my parents said that to me. It's like, you know what? Bobsled, skeleton.
Because so many people like go about like their sport and they're training from when they were a kid. That was their sport as a kid. That's what they're doing growing up their whole lives. And then they're usually not even in school half the time because they're training their whole time.
See, but some of the lesser known sports, it's not a thing where like the best example I can think about is Jesse Lumsden. You know who Jesse Lumsden is?
Yeah.
So he's a former Canadian football player. One of the best like running backs in Canada on like the college level. Ended up getting drafted to the NFL, didn't make it, or maybe he didn't get drafted. He ended up playing in the CFL for a couple of years and just didn't pan out like everyone thought he was gonna. And then I don't know who took him. Someone says, well, you got all this, like, you're such a powerful body, like you're really fast, you got these strong legs, you'd be great for bobsled, for one of the positions of bobsled. He picked up bobsled, made the Olympics. Yeah. And again, like went from football to bobsledding, 2 years, Olympics. Okay, he's also like an athlete. You're an athlete. You can't just take like an average Joe like you and I. Yeah. Maybe I have a little bit more chance than you do. Well, no, dance, you could have done it.
No.
Maybe if there's like an Olympic for dance.
No.
Synchronize, whatever.
No.
Anyway, so okay, bobsled. Your dad was like going to camp. You're going to try bobsled.
Yeah, so last year at university, soccer's kind of coming to an end. Like I loved playing soccer and I was super competitive. Would have liked to make it to a higher level. Unfortunately, that just didn't happen. And I think with soccer, like you're going to know at probably like the age of 14. And like that's when they're recruiting, like for especially like Team Canada. Like you've got scouts coming like all over the city to, they're finding the ones that are going to make it to the next
Jordan
level.
Heitemaz and the Julia Grosso were the two big ones recently.
Yeah. So that just, it didn't pan out. And then, he sees this like ad for a like dry land testing for bobsled skeleton, looking for, future Olympians and
I would love to see what this ad said.
Like,
just like looking for future Olympians.
Right?
If your kid is fit, send them our way.
Honestly, that's pretty much what it was.
Imagine. Okay. We love this for your dad right now, though. There's a big shout out.
Yeah. So, I go try this thing out and I get like, it's just like a med ball toss, a 30-meter just pure sprint, and I think a power clean, which at the time I had never done. And like they did not care about like form or technique. And I see like the other girls like putting weights on and I'm like standing there. I don't know what to put on the bar. Like, and I'm competitive and I want to, put out some like good numbers, but like I'd never done this lift.
Okay, so dad kind of screwed you here, eh?
Dad
didn't prep you for this,
I did it, but I did not do a lot of weight. Don't know what they thought of it. But, fast forward, I don't even know, like a few months later, I get a call from their pathway development recruiter, whatever her title is. And she says, your results were great. Your sprint, your, the med ball toss, we did like a broad jump, like is the same as like the national team athletes at the time. And if not better scores.
Okay, so at this point you're like,
she says, we think that you could have potential in this. We want you to think about moving to Whistler. like right off the get-go. And I'm like, I've not gone down the track. Like, I've never tried skeleton. Like, I've never done any, like, I just did the dryland testing. So I don't know what to like. My mind is going a million miles a minute. Like, I'm like, this is cool, but this is like,
you're like, I've never done this, and they want you to move.
Right?
Are you, because obviously you're an athlete on land. Are you like a winter sport athlete at all? Like, do you ski and snowboard?
Recreationally.
Okay.
Like, but not great. Like,
Okay.
can get down the hill, you know, I'm not doing flips or anything like that. But
So you're like, you're comfortable in snow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so.
Wait, do you skate?
I can skate well,
Okay,
like
so
really good. Like
you're an overall athlete here. Yeah, you're an athlete.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
well-rounded athlete.
Okay, so have you been to Whistler too, by the way?
I've been like once for my brother's hockey tournament.
Whistler's
it's amazing.
like Whistler's amazing.
It's
Like, I was just there a month ago. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. It's
So
amazing.
maybe it would have been a good choice moving there.
I mean, so to give a little more context, like it's like middle of the like school year, and at this point in time, actually, like I'm in my second last year when I got this call. I think it was, yeah. And
You went to Lethbridge?
I went to University of Lethbridge, yeah.
Okay.
So I did.
Where's Lethbridge? Alberta?
Alberta, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Calgary, so born and raised in Calgary, and yeah, my parents, they grew up around Lethbridge. All
Where's
my
that near?
grandparents.
I was in Banff.
Like Medicine Hat.
Is that anywhere near Banff?
No, opposite.
Okay, opposite. That's all. Like literally,
South.
my first and only time there. I was just there, and I was like, that's my only.
I'm trying to think. Waterton. Have you heard of Waterton? Like Montana.
We sound so bad right now.
Yeah, I know. We sound awful.
We sound stupid. It's okay.
Like, was that a real question?
Watertown? Awkward. Okay. So this is good.
Okay.
Second last year, you got the call. You're thinking,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Am I moving to Whistler?
It's
Dad's probably jazzed
just
up though.
insane. I was like, it's really cool to hear that they think that, you know, I could maybe go to the Olympics in this sport. Like, that's in my head when I'm thinking, like, this is really cool. But then, you know, like, I still have to finish school. And I think I explained that to her on the phone. Like, she did not care. Like, there was no, and so there was a little, like, there's some red flags, I think. Like, I don't know, but super cool. Like,
Yeah, you're jazzed up.
Seems like a cool opportunity. Yeah. So whatever, I sit on that. Got to, you know, focus on school. Still playing soccer. I ran track as well. So I had priorities. Just kind of like let that one, just sat on that. And then I got invited to another like camp testing, dryland testing, but then this time like try pushing the sled and running on ice. But this is I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's like the ice house in Calgary. So basically it's just a strip of ice with like a downhill and then goes up. And so that you can just practice your running start.
Okay.
So you're not actually going down the full track.
Oh, wow.
So they can really just focus like on that explosive start with like whether it's the bobsled or skeleton
or whatever. Yeah.
So like I end up going to another testing, trying now pushing like down on some ice. I think at that time we also got to go down half of the track where we didn't do like a full running start, just kind of like they just push you. I think we go off like are you familiar at all with the track?
Well, I understand bobsled.
Okay,
skeleton.
so there's like luge as well.
Yeah.
But they don't start at the very top. They start like a little bit further down and they have like their own opening.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So like closes you like
Wait, are all tracks the same?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's what I
I'm
thought.
not too knowledgeable on like, the
neither,
sport.
neither am I. I just know it's like crazy because they
Yeah.
go like 200 kilometers an hour, something ridiculous.
Yeah.
watching
It's
it.
insane.
It's like people can die at any second. It's wild.
Yeah, so like I tried it out, did another testing. My scores were really good, so they're still trying to recruit me, but I'm still kind of doing my thing, finishing school, playing soccer.
Are you Googling these sports too? Like, are you
yeah,
like YouTubing
oh
the
yeah,
shit out
I'm
of
all
them?
over it. I'm like I'm looking up like all the Canadian athletes and just like
Are you like
trying to learn everything about it. Like, is this something I would want to do? Like, that's kind of what I was really thinking. Like,
Because like this is not like a choice on you. It's not even just like this is what I like. We're like.
Well, it's always a choice. Like, she doesn't have to do it.
No,
Like,
but,
she went there because you were probably
she's
competitive. And you're like, yo, I'm gonna
deciding
fucking
whether,
crush these
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
No, like she's competitive, she was good at it, but now it's like, okay, like, do I actually want to do this? Versus like, if you're someone like, if she was playing soccer and someone's like, you're playing for the Canadian national team in soccer, that's a no-brainer. I'm quitting school, I'm going to play it. This is a completely unknown. Like, if someone offered you a soccer, like, to be on the Canadian national team in your second year of university,
Oh yeah,
you drop it right away. But this is like, you didn't know anything about the sport.
That would have been a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. It's not that dumb of me now.
I don't know. To me, if someone was like, I'm giving you a chance here, I'm just like, cool. What are we doing today? I'm in. I was never like an athlete.
Someone
like
told
that.
you today, like, hey, you're gonna go to the Olympics in 4 years. If you quit your whole life, you would say 100%.
Are you kidding?
That's because
in a heartbeat.
But that's like
Later,
can
mom
change
and dad, I'll see you in 4 years. Come see me in 4 years. It's here. It's in Canada and the U.S. Or no, it's not. That's the World Cup.
See, this is why you needed to go to RBC training ground when you were younger.
I'm shit though.
That would have been your thing.
I'm just not
found your
like,
sport.
do you know what? If I had the mentality I have now,
then
like before I used to hate going to the gym and like dryland training and like I didn't even pay for it. Like my parents paid for all my like athletic stuff when I was a kid. Now like I pay for my own gym memberships. I pay to go to Barry's boot camp. I pay to do all this. I'm like, imagine if I had this mentality now. Like I'm just partially because I'm vain, right? Like just like I want to look nice. But imagine if I knew this like 10 years ago, I'd be like, no problem. I'll put my life on hold for 4 years to give this a go. RBC training grounds, let's do this. I'm a little too old now. I think I'm past my peak. 33 years old.
Some sports, that's peak age.
Yeah, but I got to start training. I need like 4 years, so I'd be 37.
You need more than 4 years.
Well, we always joke. Sorry to cut you off, too. We always joke about this now. I just started playing pickleball like a year ago.
Okay. That's huge at the track in Milton. Like, there's tournaments every day. They're taking over our track.
Yeah, it's huge
Really?
everywhere, not just in Milton.
Have you played yet?
Oh, you got to play.
I played.
You'd probably be really good.
I think I had like a class in university where we had to play pickleball. And it was fun, but I barely.
So you're too much of an
remember.
athlete to play pickleball, though. Like you're
I
like.
feel like a lot of like the big athletes say like it's yeah.
But I said if I quit my life and I just trained at pickleball every day, 5 hours a day, in 4 years, could I be like a top level pickleball player? I probably could. But pickleball's not an Olympic sport yet, so it's a different story. But I mean, like, it's not out of the question to think if you stopped what you're doing and put. I guess we're about to find out. Continue your story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, oh my gosh, okay, I go down the track. They push me. It's like, I think I hit like 130 kilometers, or I don't want to say a stupid number. That doesn't make sense, but maybe like 120 kilometers an hour. No running start.
So really fast.
They just kind of like let my feet go down. And like.
Are you shitting your pants?
The whole time I'm thinking, like, this is insane.
Okay.
Like,
good.
get me off of this thing. Like, how do people do this? Like,
You're like,
this
this is the
isn't fun.
moment.
Like, this is, like, terrifying. And then there's, like, another part of my brain that's like, okay, but, like...
Can I go to the Olympics?
This could get me to the Olympics. Right? Like, it was
like
just...
an adrenaline junkie.
Like, to an extent. Like, not crazy.
So like this was like
Like, I wouldn't jump off an airplane.
No, I really want to.
I'm really afraid of heights, but like I don't think it was like the speed necessarily. I had absolutely like no like skills or like experience going down the track that like you actually want to be like really relaxed and like almost just let the track take you down. Like less is more. And I was very tense, so I was like getting ping ponged like the whole way down.
Yeah.
So it was not like fun.
Did
like,
you
in
watch
that sense.
Cool Runnings before?
Yeah. It was actually at the track in Calgary. And so funny thing about that, there's this famous crash that happened with the Jamaican team. Do you remember that part?
Yeah.
I crashed in that same part going down the ice on like one of the other times I'd like tried it. Like it was the last time I tried it actually.
That's
and that
what you
was
decided.
the end of it.
That's it. Okay.
But like in that same bend, the sled, I flipped over, sled hits me in the face. I have black eye. Like the helmet that I was wearing wasn't even like fully protective. It was like a flimsy like plastic. So like however heavy this piece of steel is,
like 100
like
pounds
it's
probably,
insanely heavy. Like I can barely pick it up. smashes me in the face. I go like flying down the track, like on
You
my
can't
back.
stop.
I'm like kind of like spinning. You can't stop.
Like
and
a limp
it's, like,
body, yeah.
I still had a smile on my face after. Like it was
Okay, so you're okay. You're not,
I
like,
was
dying,
okay.
yeah. Okay, so that's when you ended the bobsled.
I didn't end it because of that track or because of that crash. Sorry.
Sure.
But really shortly after that, the recruiter lady that was recruiting me, she sent an email and was like, here's this program, RBC training ground, go, try it out. Probably like mass sent it to all the athletes. You can get funding.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, this could be my like, and
Job.
and now fast forward, we're really like almost like I'm almost done university. So it's like at the time, so we're in 2018, like end of the school year, and I get this email, RBC training ground, go try it out. So do some research. Turns out there's a qualifier at my university. So it was like perfect. Like the stars just aligned. Like it was in the gymnasium. Didn't have to travel anywhere. And so they do like recruiting all over Canada. And there's only so many like qualifiers that you can attend in each province. So like worked out perfectly. Go try this thing out. And then I get invited to the final where they narrow down the search to 100 athletes. And so I go to the final in Calgary, and out of the 100 athletes, they pick one winner, and then I won the final. Following the final, I was recruited by Bobsled Skeleton Canada. So you get reached out to by like some NSOs, and there's a bunch of people recruiting at the final.
What's an NSO?
National Sport Organization. And so
I'm taking notes right now.
yeah.
I'm just thinking, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm not that old yet.
You never know.
Yeah,
I mean, you never say never.
I appreciate you, Sarah. Thank you. My dreams aren't dead yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so you win this thing.
Yeah, so I win this, and then I ended up getting reached out to by a few different NSOs. Bobsled Skeleton, Rugby Canada, Athletics Canada, which is track and fields, and Cycling Canada. And so from that, they invite you to come do like further specific testing, kind of like try out the sport, whatever it is. And I tried all of them but track and field just because I was already doing that at university. And I'm like, I know if you're not gonna, you don't just run faster, like you kind of like
you're already competing.
I don't know how you
know what the winners are.
Like that's just like
and it's like that's a sport where it's like it's okay at the 100 meters. If you're not running a 10 whatever, you're out. You're not. It
doesn't matter how much training I do. Like there's no
the
way.
hurdles, everything's the exact same. So that's different. So you end up obviously choosing cycling. When you entered. Actually, no. I'll let you continue the story because then I have questions after.
No, it's okay.
So you show. Okay, so when you enter
cycling,
you go to cycling. You're this person that wins this thing. Are all the other cyclists like, fuck this girl? Or do they look at you like, you're not a real cyclist. You're just an athlete. Like these people have been training for years and they come and see you. You just kind of picked up a bike one day.
I mean, you can only like assume that that's the thoughts in their head. Like obviously.
Were they like nice to you?
Yes.
Or did they like rookie you kind of thing?
I mean, everyone. So in track cycling, the team was pretty small. I would say everyone was pretty welcoming.
Okay, that's nice then. Yes, Canada.
Yeah, I'd say everyone was like pretty welcoming.
For the most part.
But like, it's still competitive,
It's
right?
They're
Like,
still competing for spots, yeah.
So we're vying for spots, and I mean, with more people coming in, that's a threat to
their spot.
Right? So, and
were you like a cyclist like socially or like?
No, not at all.
So like never basically had stepped on a bike?
Other than, just like riding around the community on some random bike or,
like
going
a
to the
bike
gas
share or something,
station
yeah.
to grab a Slurpee or like
Easy.
nothing competitive. Like, yeah, there's some like funny things.
So what made you pick cycling? Because you said you went to rugby.
There was rugby, track and field cycling, and skeleton luge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
so basically tried the skeleton and
didn't work out so well.
kind of just, no thanks. and rugby. I did try rugby.
Do both. Technically, summer and winter sport. There's only a couple. I think there's 2 Canadian athletes that have ever done it.
There was actually an athlete, Kate O'Brien, who did both, and she would like travel from like a bobsled competition to like track cycling, but it's like that's insane.
It's like probably
it's not realistic.
It'd be so tough, yeah.
It'd be tough. Like number one, like you already don't have a life probably. Like your whole life is a sport, and then also
Double
like the
it.
different double kinds of training.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like you'd have to have, or even like you have to try to find 2 sports that are like similar training. Because imagine training in one way and then you have to like change your. I don't know.
Yeah, there's.
Like, you know what I mean?
They say that for men, I don't know about for women, but I would assume it'd be kind of the same. Sprinters and bobsledders could like, because the idea of like powerful legs and fast running could help. I don't know, but that's what they say online. I know a lot about like I like
on his Google search
on
Reddit.
This is like Reddit. Yeah, this is like Reddit.
He's getting
This is
his
like
information.
random
Reddit posts. Reddit
again,
posts from like some person in the middle of nowhere in the States is giving you this information.
Like I actually like watch like again random nationals. I like track nationals. Won't watch the Olympics. Anytime a Canadian is competing, I watch it. Like I have my alarm set. I know who wins medals. If I miss it, I'll go watch the medal just to see. Like I just love it. I love everything about it. And I'm like, I'll see like synchronized swimming, which I know absolutely nothing about, and I'll watch it, and they'll be like 8-1. I'm like, that was at least an 8-6. Like what the hell? I'm like, they were better than the Americans, and the Americans got an 8-9. This is bullshit. I'm like tweeting about it, like pissed off. Like I love
the time is wrong. The timing system's off.
Yeah, I'll find any excuse, and then I'll like confirmation bias go like search like did Canada get screwed in this event, just to, like further my idea that they did.
Yeah, but that's like I feel like obviously like the point of the Olympics, well, the main thing was for the athletes, but like it's also to bring countries together to watch all the sports in one place. How many times are you going to watch curling on a regular basis on a Friday night?
Never, ever.
During the Olympics, I'm watching curling on a Friday night.
Johnny Moe.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Elvis Stoican, my best Canadian figure skater too.
Yeah.
Penny. So when we first started this podcast, again, it's like it was right before COVID got really kind of shut down the world. I think we had about 15 or 20 Olympians on this podcast in our first year. And that's just the way it worked. I was just like in love with Olympians and like, yeah, it's the one thing where you're literally the best in the world. It's like the World Cup. Like if you win the World Cup, your team is the best in the world. But then there's a lot of Olympic sports where either single, double, or there's like 4 people in an event. So it's like you 4 are the best in the world at this, which is like, there's no debating it. It's like you won. It's always just so cool. I've held Olympic medals too, and it's like the coolest thing. I should
like a little kid at a candy
store. Okay, so
I love it though.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
Yeah, go back to like the 10th time. Okay, so you pick cycling. Why didn't you choose rugby though?
I did try it. So I went out to Victoria. I think I could have been good at it if I like did it when I was younger, and I really.
There's a lot of similarities between soccer and rugby, right?
Yeah, I was just done with team sports. Like I picked up track and field like in the middle of my university, and it was mainly just to train more in the off season for soccer. And like I was like decently competitive, not like winning all the races, but like getting selected for the races and doing like all right. So
process of elimination, you chose cycling.
Cycling, yeah. So they had an outdoor track in Calgary. I was able to like go out, ride, try it out. It was just like crazy. The first time I went, I get home and I like said to my dad, like, why didn't you tell me there was no brakes on these bikes? Like I was so confused.
I actually knew this though. I actually knew this one. I don't know why. Is it because of the weight? Because of the weight on the bikes?
No, it's just safer. Just keep everything moving like on the track. And
so how do you stop?
You just kind of like gradually slow yourself.
And then you just kind of
you use the bank of the track, like go up in the corner, and that'll just help you slow down and kind of come down. And
it's one of the craziest things when the crash. We'll talk about crashes after.
I've had a few of those.
Yeah, I think like when one person crashes, everybody crashes.
Okay, let's just go back though. Like she's going to these tryouts and doesn't even know there's brakes on it. Like that's pretty cool. Like to be that good of an athlete.
Wild. Yeah. Like,
to not like the smallest thing.
Yeah.
And now look at you.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy looking back on it.
Like, that's insane.
I still think it's wild that your dad was just like, you're going to be an Olympian. You're gonna represent the country on a national level. Like, go figure it out. We don't know what yet. Like, my parents love me. Like, and they think I'm really good at a lot of things. At no point were they ever like, you know what, and they know I love the Olympics. At no point were they ever just like, you know what, you're going to be an Olympian. Just put your mind to it, go train, and you got this.
Yeah. My dad, like, he's super competitive, and I think my whole family's competitive, like all athletes.
If you could go back in time, would you do anything different instead of playing soccer your whole life? Like, would you pick one of these like obscure sports and just like start training from day one?
It's hard because like now I just want to say I wish I started track cycling earlier.
Like, that's what I mean.
Yeah. And
like, you started at what, 21 or 22?
About it. Yeah, I've been 22.
Is that like what's the comparable for like most track cyclists, I guess? Like, when do they start?
Well,
or are you like is that kind of normal to start later in life?
No, like most track cyclists start when they're young. Like, they're on bikes, riding on the road, and like
they're doing some sort of cycling.
All types of racing. Like, they don't necessarily like narrow down their focus on
they might
like
do like
track
mountain
sprint,
biking and
but
stuff,
like they're on bikes.
Because I just feel like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you? So yeah, let me ask you: would you, if you could go back in time right now and tell your 10-year-old self something, what would you tell them?
Get on a bike.
You would? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And would you pick track cycling as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had more time to develop on the bike. But then again, like, I don't know. It's cool how it's unfolded.
Oh, it's fucking great. Are you kidding? It's a
so
great story.
I don't know if I would go back.
It's a fucking great story.
Because maybe I wouldn't be.
Maybe you wouldn't love it anymore.
The athlete I am on a bike. I don't know.
Like, well, maybe you wouldn't love it.
Yeah, but you could be a completely different athlete. Like, you may have not developed some of the skills that you use from your other sport into this. Maybe that's what sets you apart from other people.
Or maybe not playing the team sport where you wouldn't have met friends that you have now. Or there's so many variables, right? Let's say, well, have you seen the butterfly effect?
Yes.
With Ashton Kutcher? I just recently. Have you seen it?
No.
You haven't seen the butterfly effect?
Like, that's a very old movie.
So the idea of the butterfly effect
I watch really bad movies.
Yeah, oh my God.
So like anytime he's like, do you ever watch this movie? I'm like, is it a rom-com? No, I haven't seen it.
The idea about the butterfly effect is like, it starts with a quote that a butterfly can flap its wings and cause a tsunami on the other side of the world, or a wave on the other side of the world. So it's like one small thing here over there can make such a big difference. So like, basically, long story short, Ashton Kutcher is the main actor. He goes back and like,
I love him.
Yeah, he basically relives his life in different ways by making small changes. At the time, they seem big, that like drastically change the rest of their lives. So I won't ruin the movie. You can watch it. You should. It's great. But yeah, maybe if you ended up picking track cycling when you were, I don't know, 10 years old, maybe you wouldn't have developed the social skills and you wouldn't have made the friends, and maybe you would have hated the sport because it was so
burnout.
Or maybe because you had a team sport before and now like it's more individual. Like,
I got a really good one. Do you, okay, let me ask you this. Do you love track cycling, or do you love the opportunities that it can kind of bring you and that you're really good at it?
I think like at first when I made the national team, definitely like loved the opportunities that it was starting to give me, and like that hope for like maybe going to the Olympics. But I've been in Milton like training for like 4 years now, and like full time on the national team. And I can now say that I love track cycling. Yeah.
Well, it's like, you better love it at this point.
No,
but at first,
no, not necessarily.
No, but now, no. Okay.
Because if you love the end goal.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's like the idea of like, if you love your job, you'll never have to work a day in your life. Well, some people don't love their job. They love the opportunities it gives them.
Yeah.
You know, like if you ask me, I would like, do I want to be a garbage man? No, but if you told me I could be a garbage man and make $1 million a year, I'd say, yeah, I'll fucking be a garbage man. Let's do this.
No, I agree.
Because
I take back what I said, because it's like, I like what I do. I like the people. I love the people I work with, and I love the opportunities my job is going to give me, especially later on. But do I love it day to day?
If you take away your friend, let's say you have to work from home and you didn't work with your friends and your
God, no.
That's what I say. Like, I love what I do. So I'm in construction. I work for my family business. Would I do this for any other company or any other people? No, because my direct role in what I do on day to day, if it wasn't for the people I work with, like our company's got amazing people that have been with the company for 20, 30 years. I get to work with my dad, my uncle, my brother, my cousins. Every day we get to like see people I love. And I love that. And, you know, I get to leave early some days or come in late some days, and I get to go for lunches and I get to go to this and that. So I love the opportunities, but do I love my actual career itself? No. Do I love my job? Yes.
Yeah, that's why I take back what I said.
Yeah.
I understand.
That's what I'm asking her, because I'm like, I feel like you're obviously just a general, like, you're a natural born athlete. And like your dad obviously knew that. You obviously know that. You know that. You got that mindset to put you could say, hey, you know, I'm going to put my mindset, whether it was track cycling, rugby, skeleton, bobsled, whatever it is, you would have figured it out.
And that's exactly it. Like,
and that, yeah.
I went all in, and like there really was no, there was no hesitancy. Like it was just like, I'm doing this, and I'm committing to this.
Well, so wait, when you graduated university, did you graduate?
Yep.
What'd you study?
I did kinesiology and psych.
Oh, okay. So I guess you might answer this question fairly easy. If you weren't an athlete, like let's say you did it for a year and it wasn't for you, it didn't pan out, what would you do?
There was no part of my mind that was like, this is not happening.
Oh, so you're a fucking
So
Like I was
You
like
knew.
all
You knew.
in. Like I was like, my number one priority was to make the national team.
But like, she also knew this, like in what, your 4th year, you said? That's when you started all the whole process?
Yep. Yeah. So
Like you
about
started the whole,
fourth.
so it's like, and then you went into the 5th year, right?
So I started like track cycling like right at the end. I actually ended up having to finish 2 classes online, like
Okay.
to just jumpstart.
But like your
getting on the
first
bike. But
thing
yeah.
with the RBC stuff, that happened during your university.
Yeah,
So you were still in school.
I was still
so
in school. Yeah.
you basically knew that like, hey, like I'm finishing school and then I'm finding
I'm
a way to
doing
get on this
this.
national team. I'm finding like my way.
Yeah.
Okay, Danny, question for you.
What?
Let's say you were like her. You're an athlete, natural born athlete.
Yeah.
Dance didn't work out for you. Your dad looks at you, your mom looks at you, says, Danielle, you're going to be an Olympian one day. You're going to represent Canada on the national level. You're going to play this sport. What's the sport?
I don't know.
Well, think.
I've been trying to think this whole
Really? You
time.
can't do it?
I've been trying to think this whole time. I'm not even kidding.
Nothing?
And like, I don't know. There's like a winter or summer.
You do either or. It's crazy.
Can't swim.
I think I know mine.
What?
Curling.
Okay, that was literally my
I'd
thing,
be
but
curling.
I just don't think I could do it.
I feel like there's like no age limit on curling.
There
too.
is no
There
age
isn't.
limit
So
on.
you could
Like, trust
you
me, it
could start
crosses
now.
my mind every like 6 months.
People
So
curl. My,
I-
my aunt curls weekly on a Friday night.
2028. Like you have time.
So, so the thing about curling, a friend of mine, he's not a close friend, he's a distant friend, but he's good friends with one of my good friends. His name's Johnny Moe. He is one of the most decorated, I forget which pairing he is, but he's got basically 3 medals, 2 golds and a bronze, I think, or a gold and 2 bronze. Either way, like you're fucking decorated if you got 3 Olympic medals. Like that's not something you just come in and do. And he kind of picked it up late in life too. And I was watching him at the last Olympics, the event that he lost in. And I watched the person that was brushing for him. And I'm like, when you just know, I'm like, he's doing it wrong. He's not fucking brushing right. Mind you, I have zero knowledge of the sport. But I'm just like, if I trained every day, I could do that. Like, obviously, I know it's way harder than that. But like, curling's got to be easier than track cycling.
I know nothing about curling.
I'm not trying to take away from curling. Curlers, I love you guys.
I've watched it like actually
Like
saw
track
I saw
cycling,
it
something
live at
like-
the Olympics.
You're in there.
Yeah.
Because you were at the last Olympics.
From winning the RBC training ground, like part of the prize was to go watch the Olympics in Pyeongchang in 2018. So I saw curling live. That was like the only time I've ever watched it.
Okay, so let's move to kind of now and where you are. So you went to the Pan Am Games would be your last kind of like big major competition, or what else is there for track cycling? Is there like
Yeah, so like major games. So Commonwealth Games I went to
Commonwealth,
in
yeah.
2022. And
Wait, that was last
2
2 years ago now.
Pan Am was
Yeah.
last year.
and then
right?
we just got back from Pan Am Games. That was in October. It was in Chile.
Oh my god, sick.
What's the best place you've traveled to because of this? Because of cycling.
It's crazy. We go all over the world. Like I would have never imagined just like what comes with being on the national team and like where we go to compete. Like it's,
really? You wouldn't think that?
I mean, you know that, but then when you're like
changed.
living it, it's like you, like I barely traveled before this. So it's like now we like are in airplanes every few months. And yeah, my favorite place is, it's funny because like all my teammates hated going there, but Jakarta in Indonesia.
Oh, that sounds sick.
It was amazing. Like the people, the food was just like so up my alley. Like
You like Asian
it
food?
was so good.
Like Thai food? Or
Yeah, just so much, and there's just so much flavor and spices. And
even like the street vendors are good.
Are you going there to train, or are you going there for
to compete.
to compete?
Yeah.
So cool.
And like every competition we go to is like, it's a business trip. Like we don't stay, we don't hang out and explore. Like it's very much airports and hotels. And track.
But you don't get a couple days like to explore?
No.
None. We get on a plane the next day and come back home. It's very like...
No, because I'm starting to learn about this because my cousin's in synchronized swimming and she's on a provincial team and they were doing all their national tryouts and all that kind of stuff for synchro. And then if one of the teams that didn't do as well got to go to Florida, but the other team got to go to Greece. So now we're all rooting for her to be on that team this year because they get to go to Greece.
Synchro's wild too.
She's 14. 15.
It's insane.
She's 15 years old. No, but that's why the whole like loving, because she's 15 years old, missing her summers. We're like, you better love this, or like we can put like, let's pull you out now. Like we'll talk to your mom. Like, you sure you love it? She's like, no, I love it. We're like, okay, you want to do it again next year? She's like, yeah, 100%. We're like,
see, track cycling's one thing because it's very, I don't want to say one dimensional, but it's very like go really fucking fast around this track. Like it's just, you can visualize it day in and day out for the next 5 years of your life almost. Whereas like synchro swimming is just like, okay, today we're gonna do this routine, tomorrow we're gonna do that. It's like,
no, it's basically the same every day.
Is it?
Yeah.
The routines change all the time from competition to competition, don't they?
No, I'm pretty sure you have like a set amount of routines, but you're training like for that specific competition.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like her what she's gonna do in the next 10 competitions is gonna be the exact same. She's going to go around the track really fast. I don't mean to say it like that. But you know what I mean? With synchro swimming, you might
No, it's routines.
Yeah, but the routines
so
change.
Like, it's like rhythm gymnastics, okay? You're training a routine, or like gymnast floor routines. You're doing that same routine.
But it changes.
But even if like the routine changes, it's like the movements like don't.
The movements don't, but a lot of them take it. You have to compete it at nationals and you compete it at the Olympics.
So it changes
the same routine.
basically every 6 months, maybe, or once a year it changes.
Okay, but your skill set's the same. That's like me learning dance. I learned 20 dances every single year.
Yeah, that's true.
But we start learning them in what? November,
for
December,
me, like,
January?
I would like this because I know exactly what I know. Like for you, you know what time you need to hit to have a chance at winning.
Okay, but again, different tracks.
But
it's the same thing.
Tracks are the
our
same.
sport isn't just like, it's not like track and field and that's like set distances. Like we actually like race against each other. So it's like very tactical. Like it's like 1v1. There's many different events that we do. So there's a ton of attack.
Think about that because it's not like
that,
track where you have a set lane.
and each rider can ride whatever gear they want. So like one could be on like a really big one, really small gear, and like that's gonna change a lot. And like the way that you set up a race.
I was just gonna say, what's the strategy,
their strategy.
behind it? Yeah, well, I saw
She's
this.
not going to tell people her strategy. Like,
Well,
she
maybe
wants
not
to
her,
win.
but like there are strategies. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Is there? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's, like, generic.
Yeah.
Because I saw this race with a speed skater. Because speed skating and track cycling are very similar.
Yeah.
Like the idea behind that is roughly the same, but there is strategy, and you're racing against people. You're not racing around like an empty track, like track and field is mostly. But this one guy like went really fast, kind of lapped everybody, and then chilled at the back of the pack while the rest of them were fighting each other.
Yeah.
And then like they kind of just forgot that he was in the lead or something, and then he won while everyone else was entering their last lap. It was like a really weird thing. I can't remember the exact strategy behind it, but like, what's the main strategy? Is it like get ahead and try and stay ahead, or is it get to the second spot, tail behind until you get a window? Like,
yeah, so there's definitely an advantage with the track. So like staying high, using the banking, and then like leaving gaps early on so that you can, and then like come in at the last minute and rush.
Oh.
So like you want to use that track advantage though. So you have to have like the height on them to be able to come.
Because you get the
You
speed
have
on the
to have
downward on
the
the
gap.
ramp.
So that's like if you're in the back position, like you want to be able to basically come in last minute in the last like turn.
And like
And
whip
then
around the end.
and then like whip around them. Or it could be like you said, like get ahead first.
And then just try and keep it.
And like just try and keep it.
What's like, okay, what the last major event, what did the winning person do?
It was my teammate actually
Yeah?
at the Olympics who won.
And what'd they do?
I think she stayed in the front for, I can't remember. Like,
What do you prefer to do? Or is it based off what everybody else does?
I think I like to be like in the back. Like it kind of depends, honestly. It depends who I'm racing and like kind of what I know about them. But yeah, I think I prefer to be in the back.
But
because I kind of like to see.
But sometimes it's one-on-one. Sometimes there's a bunch of people. Sometimes there's 8.
Yeah,
right?
but like think about like any other sport. You're gonna play your different strategy between what team you're playing. Football, Super Bowl. Chiefs are gonna play differently if they're playing against.
But then that's a team sport. It's completely different.
Okay, but still
One-on-one,
individually,
like, especially when it's
yeah,
one-on-one.
but individually.
Like let's say, okay, so
If
track.
I'm competing
let's say-
against you versus I'm competing against her, we're gonna do a different strategy if you cycle different.
Yeah. So, but if you think like you can compare it to, I guess, figure skating because the idea of like kind of working not in sync, but like going against the grain is like that. But like track and field, let's say the 400 meter. The 400 meter, you basically run as fast as you can. There's no strategy in it. You run as fast as you can. You try and just break that world record. And that's the strategy where it's like, this might not necessarily be just go as fast as you can and get the head start because, so you know how the rink is curved, right? It's kind of like a bowl almost. You can whip around. There's obviously certain ways that you go up. You can get speed and come down.
Okay, so basically it's.
She's
I
listening
feel
to us
like
like,
you're lost.
these guys are so stupid.
I feel like I need to give you context as to like what it looks like. Okay, so picture this. Have you seen track cycling?
Yeah.
Like 1v1, like the match sprint?
Yeah.
Oh, you have? Oh, okay. I didn't think you've seen it.
No, I have.
Okay. So yeah, you start off like super slow. And then it's 3 laps, basically, like first one to like cross the line, right? And like it's kind of evolved. So the strategy was like to stay to basically go as slow as you can for like the first 2 laps and then kind of like out jump the other person in like the last lap or even like within the last lap. But like now what's happening is like everyone's starting to like ride bigger gears. The speeds are getting faster. The sprint's starting to happen like a lot earlier in the race. Not like right within the last lap. So it's almost kind of like a little bit of like endurance in there, like endurance.
So now it's
power
becoming
speed.
more like a track where it's like just go as fast as you can and try and
It's kind of like winding these like big gears up earlier and like
keeping that top speed.
Trying to, yeah, exactly.
It's interesting.
It's really, yeah.
Yeah,
it is really.
Why do you think? What do you think the main reason it switched over for is because of the higher gears now? Like
Yeah,
the technology,
the bigger
and the bikes?
gears, or the gear. I mean, obviously, like pushing. If you're not strong enough to push a big gear, like you're not necessarily going to go faster. But that's kind of the thought process, like in a lot of, like I guess, like the whole sport is like changing in that people are like starting to ride big gears and everyone's very strong.
Okay, this might be a stupid question.
It's getting faster.
Is there like advantages to certain bikes, or is it pretty
100%?
There, so there is.
Huge aerodynamic like advantages.
So it's like you want to get that best bike.
Yeah, and that's money.
Yeah,
Well, but the best
Right?
bike for you might not be the best bike for somebody else. Depends on your what your skill set is and your assets, right? Like people that might have longer legs and more power in their legs might be better suited for certain bikes. Or no?
The bikes are like pretty like standardized in that like it doesn't really matter. It's more like the sizing of it, and then like you can change like everything from like your handlebars to your like your STEM and like those are the things that are gonna like be a little bit more individualized, not necessarily like the frame. Like the frame
is pretty standardized.
Yeah, but like there's teams like that have a lot of budget and have a lot that's like a lot of.
Who's like a big budget team? The US?
GB,
Great
Australia,
Britain.
Germany, US as well.
So in cycling, where does Canada like typically fall?
Like rank wise?
Yeah.
Like within top 10.
Okay. Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, we have to be top 8 to qualify for the Olympics.
There's only 8 that go?
So there's 3 events, the Kieran, the match sprint, and then team sprint. And so I'm currently trying to qualify like in the team sprint. And so that's top 8.
And when's that happen?
We've done there's 7 competitions, 16 months out of the games, and we've done 5 that count. So we still have 2 more competitions.
Oh, so
to qualify.
It's more like is it like best of the 7?
No, just like 7 that count.
So how do you get selected? You have to win one of the 7 or?
It's a point system.
Okay, so it's not just like an international tournament. The top 8 from that tournament go to the Olympics.
So it's 1 world championship, 2 continental championships, and then 4 World Cups.
Wow, I thought it was.
So then we'll have like each
different.
season has like we'll have 3 World Cups, and then it'll be like the top 2 results of those.
So out of the ones that happened, where do you guys currently stand?
It's tough to say a rank right now, but
Ballpark.
We were sitting 7th, but we haven't done our continental championships yet, which are in LA, and those are like a lot of points, whereas a lot of other countries have already done theirs.
Oh, so you have a leg up. Okay.
Just depends how we do.
Man, I did not know this much about track cycling. I thought it was
it's like so cool.
Yeah,
to,
I
like,
thought it was pretty black and white. I thought it was like just go around the track as fast as you can, and I didn't think there was actual.
No, I feel like I knew there had to be more to it. Well, obviously, like
I didn't. No, I thought it was just go around the track as fast as you could.
No, there's always more than what it looks. It's more than just curling, throwing a thing across.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that is
how
it looks, right?
Like,
so.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
like there's always
I
more
don't
to
want to
what
shit
it
on curling,
seems.
but curling again, the strategy is because you're playing against a different team, right?
Hey, I'm trying to think of I'll think of an individual sport.
Diving.
So much skill in diving.
Diving it's me versus me.
Yes, but there's skill in having.
I actually tried diving when I was young.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
You're scared of heights.
It was.
Did you high dive or like?
I did not enjoy it.
I was gonna
But
say
it
you're
was a
scared of heights.
camp.
How
Like
do
it
you
was
think
like a weekend camp. My mom she wanted me to go to this thing, so
I was like, hey,
Like,
Sarah.
diving looks sick to me, but it also
It's terrifying.
it was
so
scary.
dangerous.
I remember standing. I don't know what like diving board it was, but it was high up there, and I
It was probably like a 10
terrified.
You thought it was like 30 feet.
But it was crazy. Like it was a weekend camp, and I remember they had us doing inchworms around the entire perimeter of the pool, and like we're giving us like strict like lectures on what to eat and like what should be in our lunchbox.
And how old were you?
13, maybe.
See, this is why I wasn't an Olympian. I didn't go to these crazy camps when I was 13.
Hey, you really fucked up.
Fuck, Mom, Dad, fuck.
Like, could you imagine though? I follow this one like cliff diver. I think she's like a Red Bull athlete on TikTok. But it actually just terrifies me watching how high.
Diving, like when I see
a diver,
divers
but then,
go
like, does,
off,
like,
it's just nuts to me. I'm just like, you guys are absolutely crazy.
Or just could you imagine like breaking your like hitting your head the wrong way? So cool though.
Yeah.
Okay, to both of you, what would your winter sport be? Again, let's say you have the skill set. You can do whatever sport you want.
Snowboarding.
Snowboard, that's a cool one. Wait, would you do half pipe or like the course?
I think half pipe.
Half pipe's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, half pipe's really cool. It just looks
I
cool too.
love watching it.
Yeah, like Shaun
it's
White.
so cool.
Or the chick from the States right now. She's kind of Oriental looking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sarah. Oh, I loved her. I followed her after the last Olympics because I was like, you're so cool. There's something so cool.
I can't remember. What's her name again? I know exactly who you're talking
You know
about.
who I'm talking about.
But
yeah, she's American, Asian looking.
Yeah, she's a model.
She's really pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. What would yours be?
I'm good at it. Like, I don't
No,
have to have any skill.
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
just, again, I'm going to give you all the talent in the world. You can go to the Olympics. It's got to be a winter sport. What is it?
Something skiing.
Skiing?
Yeah.
Like,
because I suck.
moguls or speed skiing? Speed? You'd be one of the really fast ones?
I'd probably be good right now.
They go really fast.
I can't stop.
No, like, they go really fast.
Yeah,
what do you think their like max speed is?
Like probably 80-ish, 90-ish. No, they're
Wait, what do you guys
digits.
think the max speed is that we can hit on the track?
I've hit 70 kilometers on my bike downhill. So I think you guys probably even do like 90, 100.
Oh, wow. Not even close.
No?
That's way too fast.
Okay, I don't know, 80?
The men like a max of 80, women like 70.
I hit there's a downhill near my family home when I go cycling. It's a downhill and I have a tri bike. I hit 69 once and I was terrified for my life. Like,
I would die.
Like literally, if you saw me, so I'm like, I got the aero bars. I'm down like this.
The aero bars too.
Yeah, aero bars, and I'm like holding on for dear life. The problem is, my aero bars, when I hold really tight, I can't let go of my.
See, that's your problem. You need to be like very relaxed.
I'm not a fucking athlete like this. I'm a recreational rider. So I'm down like this and I'm holding on, but I'll grab the bars and I don't have my fingers on the brakes. So I can't hit the brakes at all. So all I do is I just tense up and I just get ready. And sometimes I'll unclip my shoes just in case if I hit something. At least I will fly and I won't fly with the bike.
This is
because I get so scared. Yeah. So
I'm not. My issue is I'm not scared.
I only did that once. I shit my
pants. So that's what my biggest issue is in life. I'm not scared when I'm doing things like that. It's like when I went skiing. I haven't gone skiing since I was in grade 11. I'm 28 now.
You could do skeleton.
And my cousins refused to go skiing with me now because I had my cousin's racing skis on. It was bad conditions in like Blue Mountain, like number one. Like, okay, there was like it was all ice, and I forgot how to like stop like pizza. So I just kept going straight down, and then the only way to stop is I would either fall or I would put my head inside a snowbank and just like dive. Anyways, I left with like a concussion and like dislocated elbow and all that kind of stuff. So
she could definitely not do skeleton. No,
why? I'm not scared.
You would literally die. Scared.
I have all the talent in the world. You told me.
Oh, sorry. In this pretend, yes, in this pretend life.
This pretend life.
Yeah, you said skiing though, not skeleton.
Yeah, I know, but now I'm changing it
up. She said you should try skeleton. I think you might die.
Yeah, but I'm relaxed.
I think that's a great attribute to have for a sport like that. Like, you really can't have any fear.
You have to have, like, the biggest cojones in the world to do, like, one of those sports where you're going, like, especially skeleton, because you're going head. Is skeleton where you go head first or luge?
Head first, yeah.
Skeleton's head first.
Yeah.
Luge and skeleton are different, aren't they?
Yeah. Luge is feet
They're
first.
Different. Feet first.
Yeah, skeleton's
the effed up one.
Someone get in a bad accident. At the
people have died
Olympics.
at skeleton.
I know, the last Olympics. Or 2 Olympics ago.
In 2010.
Someone, like, got wrapped around one of the pillows.
I think it was in Vancouver.
Vancouver Olympics. Someone got injured.
So. Yeah. I don't think anything like that's happened since.
Because I remember that terrified the living hell out of me. Like,
he came out and like hit the pole.
Yeah.
But, well, nothing like that insane has happened.
That's wild.
That's crazy. Okay, so so you're obviously training right now. You're having the competitions. Like, what do you think's going to happen?
We're in contention, so it's looking good, but we've got 2 more competitions to go.
So just kind of like head down, focus.
Yeah.
What do you do in your spare time? I'm trying to like guess right now, and I don't know. Like, I feel like you have a dog.
No pets.
Dog?
No pets. Lots of plants.
You have plants?
Lots of plants.
What kinds?
Like
a full room of them?
The house is turning into a jungle.
Okay,
it's more like what plant do I not have at this point?
I love that though. And I mean, you're home, so you can take care of them.
And house plants are nice because you don't have to water them every day.
Every day, yeah, a couple
days. So when we leave for we normally aren't gone more than 2 weeks, so it's fine.
2 weeks are.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say like we're not gone for more than a weekend, but 2 weeks is a long time to leave the plants alone.
That's like maximum time.
No, plants are pretty good depending on what plants you buy. You can you should only have
they can
to
survive drought, like most of them. Like they're.
She's like, trust me, I know.
Like I've
come back from Chile and these plants are still alive.
I'm awful with plants. I'm awful with plants. Can't keep any alive.
That's the trick. Is that like you don't want to overwater. Yeah.
Overwatering is usually the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Which
You need sunlight and don't overwater.
Yeah, no, but like sometimes I like didn't water them for a while, and I like remembered. Then I'd overwater them, and then it's just like downhill from there.
So I have them on. My office at my day job is a little bit smaller than this room, but I have a nice windowsill just like that almost, and I've got like 4 plants. And someone actually came into my office the other day and talked shit about my plant keeping, and I was just like, actually, those were 2 original plants. Now there's 6 plants, but from the 2 original.
You know, there's an app on your phone now that you can get. I think you have to pay for it. You have it? Do you pay for it? One of them.
Planta is the one.
I think so. Yeah.
You scan the plant.
You scan the plant.
I did. Yes, I bought it. It's like an annual thing. I think it was like $40. But
did it work?
Like, this is worth it.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
But I think I'm getting to the point now where I almost don't need.
You don't need it.
Yeah, like it really helped in the beginning when I was like completely lost, had no idea how to take care of them, and I was like afraid I was gonna kill them all when I started buying them. I think I bought too many like at once too, because I was like, okay, this could be like.
So how did it start? How'd you walk? Like, did you just walk to the plant store? Like, oh, you know, did they catch you at the exit of the grocery aisle or something?
Honestly, yeah, we did go to like a plant store. We started with like 2
cacti, probably.
No, what did we get for the first 2? It was actually started with an IKEA tree. It was a Dracaena from IKEA. That was the very first one. Okay.
And that's just like, we needed decoration in the home.
We wanted to build this coffee setup and wanted to make it look pretty, so we got 2 pots to go up above, and then now it's become a jungle. Now the house is full of like all the big plants, like bird of paradise, like monsteras.
I don't know. I know money tree and cacti and the olive leaf. That's it. Not the olive leaf, the aloe leaf.
An aloe?
The aloe?
An aloe tree?
Yeah. Aloe tree.
It's not a tree, isn't it? Like a plant?
Aloe vera plant, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. Well, I'm not a plant person. I can't keep them alive. I can barely keep an orchid alive, and like all you need is an ice cube. Did you hear that?
What? No, I didn't know that one.
You just put an ice cube. That's how you're supposed to water your orchids.
Oh.
An ice cube a month or an ice cube every 2 weeks.
Did not know that.
Could be a week. I don't know. Clearly, I can't keep them alive, so don't listen to me. But I know it's something to do with an ice cube.
So what else? What other do you have any other hobbies? Like I know you train all day, 8 to 5.
Yeah. So.
When you come home after a long day, what do you do?
I love to cook.
Okay.
So spend a lot of time in the kitchen, probably more than I should.
What's your go-to
meal? It's a lot of
meal?
standing. Oh, there is no go-to meal, I would say.
Really?
Like I love to change it up, and I get like sick of dishes, so I'm almost like making something new like every day. I hate leftovers.
Really?
Like, I can't do them.
I'm the opposite. I love.
I don't mind leftovers because like I'll always just like I used to live alone, so I'd make something for dinner. And then I'd like switch it up a bit, but use the same ingredients for lunch the next day. And then like those 2 meals, I'm good. So I got used to that. So I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. So if you're training all day, what's your like diet like during the day? Like, you must eat like 3,000 calories or something.
Yeah. So I'd say like I eat less food like in the morning, afternoon. Like I get a lot of my like carbs and proteins through like shakes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And like in the morning, I have a smoothie. I don't eat anything. Like
wow.
Just smoothie every morning.
How many shakes? You must have like 2 shakes a day at least, or 3.
About one to 2. Yeah.
Because at that point, like again, I just talk about like other athletes who train as much as you do. Like you're not eating for enjoyment. You're eating for like
it purpose. Almost becomes like a task in the day.
It's like, hey, do I have enough calories? Like, hey, I'm tired. I need to eat. Like I don't feel fueled up or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's actually crazy. Like you burn, I don't know, 5,000 calories a day or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't even know. But
you don't even know.
Like my target is like between like 3,000 to 5,000. Or sorry, not 5,000. That's insane. 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day in consumption. So it's really hard to eat.
Like
to fulfill that.
Yeah, it's like,
right? That's
generally
crazy.
just to eat. That's hard to do.
Yeah, you're probably just sick of it. Like
4
forcing
Big Mac
yourself.
combos.
Yeah, and so like usually it's like after Monday, Wednesday, Friday we're in the gym in the morning, and then so I'll come home, have my shake, and then I'll have like a small lunch, just like something like pretty lunch? Plain, like bagel, like maybe like if that, like couple eggs and like toast, and then so that's like lunch, and then we'll have track in the afternoon.
What do you guys do at the gym? Like, is it like
A lot of lifting, a lot of heavy.
Well, I mean, but like, are you doing like squats and stuff, or is it like
Yeah.
more like explosive stuff?
Yeah, squats, cleans are the two like main exercises, and then we'll do like for explosiveness.
Yeah, just cleans, yeah.
Just cleans, and then we'll do some like step ups and some explosive jumps.
This might be a stupid
Not a lot
question.
of upper body.
Do you ever like? I don't know. When you're maybe actually no, you don't travel a lot. Well, do you travel a lot for pleasure? I guess you're kind of a bit too busy and you travel for work now.
No.
But have you ever like been to like a random gym and like did a spin class?
Never.
I was just.
I've never done.
It'd be so funny to see you at a spin.
See you do a spin class.
I was just thinking. I was just like, is this a? Can I
like, have you ever like jumped on a Peloton?
No.
You'd win for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know.
For
I don't
sure
think so.
Yeah, you
I'm
would.
95% sure you would win. So my brother's or my sister-in-law is like she's a big not cyclist, a big workout cyclist, I guess you can. Yeah, she does the Peloton like religiously, and like she's like heavy duty into it, like loves it. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, I would love to see you on a Peloton because it's like she's very fit. Like she's not like an athlete, but she's very fit. But you're like an athlete. I'd love to just see like what's the comparison between like an athlete and not a regular person, because she's not, but like an almost regular person.
It depends like what the class is.
You don't think you'd be good at all? I'm just like,
I don't even know what it would like. I don't know what the workout would look like.
yeah, neither do I.
It's just music.
No, and then they'll be like, okay, we're going downhill.
But like,
turn the
isn't
resistance
Peloton?
low.
There's like actual like competitions on the
You
thing?
can-
No.
compete
Like you
with everyone in the
basically,
class.
yeah. Like there's like
a
they
virtual
rank
class.
you. It's virtual.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're going on, but it's everyone's at their own pace. But they basically just guide you throughout the class on what resistance you should be like using.
But there's a leaderboard, and you try and win.
It sounds hard.
No one tries to win.
I know a lot of people that try and win.
I know a lot of people with Pelotons, and you're just going on. Like if you're really trying to win, like okay, cool.
Like I know people that get on the bike, will start pedaling. So when the class starts, they're already going at like a faster speed, so they got an early head start.
I have never
cheaters.
heard that.
Yeah, I know.
They need more like time.
Well, no, it's just like again, if you're a super competitive, you would like trying to like win this thing.
Yeah, but like every time you're going to the gym, like
I feel like
Yeah,
I would
that's
get
just-
really competitive with. Like if I was actually doing it, I would.
yeah, but like it's like a word. Like when you're going to the gym, are you competing like hardcore the person next to you?
I think some people do.
Yeah,
I mean, like
guess.
sometimes when I get on a bench, so I work out at this little like gym in Brampton. It's kind of small, but it's like a fairly private gym. There's no like really fit people there, right? It's just so you know, it's an old school bodybuilding gym. It's always empty, and I love it. When I go to my other gym in Vaughan, it's a little bit of a douchey gym. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's just like
Bodybuilders.
no, just like I don't even know how to say it without sounding like a dickhead, so I'm not gonna say it. But anyways, there's times I go there and I see these like little punks, and they're like trying to bench a certain amount. And it's just like I was like, go down a weight, do it properly. Like don't try to. Who are you trying to impress here? Like,
You're right.
and then sometimes I'll sit down and do it as my warm up, just like fuck you little kids, like you guys are stupid. So sometimes I do it too. Yeah, I compete against.
He's
little
competing against the little
22
kids.
No, I get it.
Not little kids. Like
I had
22,
like no, like I
23.
used to have a friend who used to go when she was at Barry's on like the running part. Like she wanted to be the fastest.
I feel like Barry's is like a super like competitive.
See, I never felt that.
I don't
Oh
know.
my God,
I haven't
love
done it. I've
going.
just seen like photos on
When
Instagram,
I-
but like it looks intense. Like it looks like something.
I'm not gonna lie.
that-
When I go to Barry's, I look at the room and I'm like, okay, like, am I the most fit person here, or am I not the most fit person here? And then they'll call it out, like, okay, we're going max speed. Who's hitting 11? And then you'll hear someone hit 11. I'm like, I know I was more fit than that guy. I'll go to 11.
Yeah, no, but they tell you what speeds to go at. You just
they'll
go to
say-
the speeds.
No, they'll say 8, 9, 10. And they'll be like, if you want to push it, this is the last one. Go as fast as you can. And then people will be like, oh, we got Johnny in the corner hitting the 12. Yo, shout out to Johnny. I'm like, oh, fuck Johnny.
It should be you.
I'm at 13 now. And then I'm like huffing and puffing, like dying on the side. No, not really. But anyways, fuck, I just realized we're at the hour 10 mark too.
Wow. That
We
went by
were just
quick.
going. Yeah, we were
I
just
know.
going. Before we wrap up, obviously, well, we kind of touched on what's kind of the rest of this.
I want to ask a question
Oh,
before
go.
you wrap up. So if you guys make it to the Olympics, which fingers crossed, we're manifesting this right now because we know you guys can do it. What are you doing after? Like, how are you celebrating? Or do you not want to jinx it?
I think I'll take like a month off, maybe even like 3 weeks off, and then start training again for the World Championships, which follow that.
Would you travel or go anywhere else, or
I
just
don't
like
know.
actually just chill?
I'm not even thinking like.
Not even thinking that far.
about
You
it.
still got so many steps ahead.
Like yeah, it'll be pretty like spontaneous, I think.
My last question was, if you do make it to the Olympics, who's the first person you're gonna call?
That was my next
Was it?
question. Not even kidding. I was about to be like, okay, wait, let me like rephrase this now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
Well,
okay.
minds
No,
together.
great thing.
Definitely my parents. Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah, Dad.
Dad, thanks.
Thank you so
thank you,
much.
Dad.
Yeah.
We love that though. We
Yeah,
love
no.
that. I get. And before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to touch on?
I think we've, chatted lots.
I know. I feel like we did. And usually we don't actually ever stay on one topic this long.
Yeah, no, I liked it though.
Usually we go on to like music or travel or something else, but I feel like this one was like actually like track cycling related the whole episode, which is crazy.
Yeah, it was nice.
See, usually like we don't like even this one. Like I Google a little bit about the sport, the Olympics, track cycling, just so that you have your key talking points. But you don't Google too much. And I'll tell a story because I don't think I've told it in a while. The first Olympian we ever had, his name was
Eric Goodbranson?
No. Why am I going?
Who'd you have?
Eric something. He was Olympic. He was a 3-time Olympian, 1-time Olympic silver medalist or gold medalist. I can't remember. He was maybe our 5th episode ever.
What sport?
Figure skating.
Oh,
Team
okay.
figure skating. He did pairs. Never medaled. He medaled in the team one. And I'm
Eric Bradford.
Eric.
Bradford?
Yeah.
That's his last name, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Eric Radford. Yeah.
Eric
Radford.
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 Okay.
Radford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had him on. He was maybe our 10th episode. So me and George, my old co-host, we Googled the shit out of this guy. Like I could tell you everything about this guy. Like I read every article there was, like Googled. And the problem is you'd ask a question and you already knew the answer to it. So like you're almost asking it for the audience instead of rather asking it for yourself. So I'd be like, okay, when you were 17, you won you won your first championship. You got a bronze with a score of like whatever. Like how was it? Tell me about it. It's like, I know how it was. It was fucking obviously electric. You're a 17-year-old winning a national championship. I'm like, and you listen to it like obviously like years later, it's like I basically asked him questions I already knew the answers to just so that other people can hear the answers that I already Googled. I was just like, it's different and it's too not organic. And now it's like, okay, we Google a little bit where it's not like we don't know everything about you, but we know enough that like the things we're curious to ask about. But actually somebody called us out
I have another question. You're pretty big on social media. Like how did you kind of get that, like start getting that following and like building your social media?
Honestly, like, I think it's like during COVID, like just posted a lot. Like with my boyfriend, Nick, he's also on the team and that's how I met him. And we lived together like all throughout like the pandemic, and like we just like did a lot of like content, and like I had a food account, and so we did like a lot of like cooking and like photography, videography with that, and then kind of like and kind of like documented a lot of like us riding, and then we just started to grow this on our socials, and we do like all our content ourselves of each other. And
How do you do that? Like, how do you manage that with all the
I'd say
training?
that kind of goes into when you ask me about hobbies, like that's part of our hobby in a way, and which is also turned into a job. So
I'm shocked we haven't talked about that.
I literally just think about it right now too.
Like just given like
Yeah.
how much you're on social and stuff.
yeah, I'd say that's kind of like where like it started, and
That's a big thing. It's a big commitment.
Yeah, it's a huge
Do you
commitment.
think that's helped your career?
Pardon?
Do you think like
Helped my career?
Yeah, do you think?
Like in terms of
Because I'd want to say like typically you would say yes, but I feel like no,
because it's all skill.
because it's your
I would
sport is
say
complete
it's-
skill.
Yeah, no, has nothing.
Yeah,
No
it's like it's so
relation.
unfortunate. Like you think of some sports, like an athlete's online following might make them more like marketable or so. Well, I guess in this sport, it still makes you more marketable, but it doesn't help your career.
No, not really like in this sport, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe with like
it's definitely-
sponsorships and stuff, does it help?
Yeah, with like sponsorships
Yeah.
and like branding, and in that sense, like yes, especially like because like track cycling is like such a small niche sport. I think that's kind of one of the driving forces for like Nick and I is to show our sport more, especially to like Canadians, and hopefully help like grow the sport of track cycling. So I think that kind of is like a little bit of the driving force in what we do with our socials. But yeah,
it's crazy.
It's
we
definitely
didn't touch
like
upon that.
Yeah, no, it's cool because I was even just like on your social media page too before, and I was just like looking at things. It was just so cool to like get like a different look and like your day kind of like in the life of you at the track and like what you do. It's kind of like as an outsider.
Yeah, definitely like shines a light on like the like intricacies of our sport, the things you wouldn't think about.
Yeah,
like there's so much more to it than just riding around in a circle.
Yeah, that's Ricky's biggest takeaway from today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but again, this is why we do this. So we get to like one other thing we always say is like, how often in today's society do you get someone's undivided attention for an hour and 15 minutes? Yeah. Like you can't do anything else but talk to us for an hour and 15 minutes. Like you're stuck here with us for an hour and 15. Like our guests can, like our audience, they're like, they could be scrolling. They're in traffic right now. They're like, I don't know, maybe they're cycling at the gym. You're stuck with us. We have your undivided attention for an hour, usually an hour, but an hour and 15 minutes on this one.
Yeah.
But no, Sarah, appreciate you coming in. Thank you. This was awesome. Very insightful too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really cool to learn and understand. And I think we both can say this, that like we're excited to see where you go this year and what happens, and we're rooting for you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. If people want to find out more about you, your career, everything you're doing, where can they go? How can they find you?
Instagram, Sarah Orban. Yeah, that's the main one.
We'll share the links too. But give Sarah a follow. As always, give Danny a follow, myself a follow, subscribe, like all those fun things. Sarah, thank you again. And for those listening, guys, we appreciate you. Thank you. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
You like to drink and to smoke to take away the pain. And I don't remember all of my mistakes and every high. Got alone with no one thing. You're not alright. I'm not alright. You're not alright. I'm not alright. I like to drink and